And so we're going to go between these two, starting and ending div tags, and put a cursor there, and go up here to Insert Image, and we're going to look for our header, and there it is, right here, and click OK. And here, this is for accessibility. So if someone has trouble seeing, this is useful because they can they run a program to have it read out loud what they're seeing. So this is the header. So we're going to want to type in header. This also helps for your search engine optimization. So when the little spiders out there go and crawl through your website and they see header, they know what that is, because they have trouble recognizing images, but they're great with text. So if we type in header, or maybe even Ben Jones computer animator, that would probably be better. I'll click OK. So that kind of tells people what this is if they have trouble seeing it. It also shows up if the image doesn't show up. So that's kind of nice. Alright, so we've got a div tag set up for our header. So let's make another one for our navigation. So div, and then class, and then this one, even though it's kind of separated, I'm going to make this one giant column, and I'll show you why in a little bit. So class equals grid underscore 12. Okay, and we're going to close that div tag. And I'll get to I'll show you now, I guess. Okay, so I've been typing in grid 12, but there's other things that show up. If I type in grid underscore 6, it's going to make a div tag that's 6 columns wide. Okay, so if I just type in, this is a 6 column, 6 cell wide div. Okay, it will make a div that is only 6 columns wide. Okay, so that's going to be useful when we get down here. But for now, this one is just 12. Okay, and that's why this is not 6 columns wide anymore. Okay, so let's start importing in the rest of our images. You can also click this button. You don't have to go up here to insert image. You can just click this one. It does the same thing. So bring in leftnav.jpg, and this doesn't really have any meaning to it. It's just kind of there for decoration, so we don't need to give it any alternate text. So just bring that in, and right after that image, we're going to insert our next image, and the next one is about. So actually, I forgot to type in the alternate text for that one, but you can type it in down here. It does the same thing. So that one's about. Alright, and we're going to want to bring in one of the little spaces that we have between the buttons, and we don't need to give it anything, and just keep doing this. And I'll bring in what was next, portfolio. Okay, so portfolio. Alright, and I'm just going to copy the little space that we have here, and right after portfolio I'll paste it in there, and we'll insert in the next one, which is blog. Okay, oh, I forgot to type in the alternate text. Blog. Sometimes Dreamweaver doesn't like to actually show what the website actually looks like. You really have to preview it in your web browser to see how it actually looks. So I'm just going to paste in another image. I think I might have actually... No, it's in there. Or is it? One second. I think I might have done something wrong here. Yeah, okay. So if I just click enter a couple times here, when I must have clicked outside of this div tag, of the 12 column div tag that we made. And so I just added the image outside of that div tag. So we can fix that really easy here in the code view. We'll just cut this and go inside that div tag and paste it in there. Okay, and it looks like there's a space there or something. There we go. Alright, and we'll just paste, oh, whoops, just copy that little spacer that I made. Keep on pasting it outside there. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, good now. And our final one is contact. Okay, and contact. Why does it keep doing that? I don't know why that's there. Why does this say span? Oh, it's because of that. What the heck? It's very odd. Here, I'm gonna delete some of this. This is weird. I shouldn't be saying that. Alright. Couple technical issues here, I guess. And try and figure this out. What I'm looking for is to make sure that it's inside there, and I think it is. I don't see why it's doing this. Oh, okay. I think I know what it is. No, that's not it. Huh. Weird. I'm going to delete some of this, and I'll just redo it. That's very odd. I'm sure someone out there is like screaming at me because they know the answer. But I'm just going to do it again. It's not that hard. It's kind of odd that it did that. I don't know why. So just keep inserting those images. Portfolio, blog. Alright, and insert another one of these spacers. And another one. And contact. This happened to me before. I think when I went to export the slices, I might have made a couple of the slices too big. So I'm just going to shrink down some of these spacers, until we get contact to come back up. So that's all good. What I did to just kind of compress the image was I went down here. It has the width and the height of the image. Generally, you don't want to stretch or squash any of these images, but this image kind of loops or repeats lengthwise, so it's okay. Alright, so we've got the navigation in there, and we got the header in there. So let's work on the next part. Okay, so in the next part, we're going to make the content. And to do that, well, actually, before we do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's preview this in our browser. So we're going to have to save this, and I'm just going to open it in Firefox. It might take a second here because I don't have Firefox preloaded, but this is going to tell us if we did things correctly. And I have a feeling that it's not going to show up correctly. And I think I know why. And I think it's an easy fix. So wait for Firefox to open up. Yeah. See, this is what I was thinking. It created a little bit of a space in here, and we can fix that really easily using CSS. So what we're going to want to do is create a ID or a class, and they're essentially the same thing. A class applies to multiple things. An ID is more of a specific instance, like I only want to do something to this one div, whereas a class is like I want to do this to many divs. It's something that I'll be reusing a lot. So I think I'm just going to make an ID. I could make a class, but I'm going to make a ID for the header. Okay? And to do that, you could just go over here into the styles and type it out. But there's a more user-friendly way. If you click on the CSS file that you want to create the rule for, so we're going to do styles.css, and click this little new CSS rule, it'll come up. And what it will do by default is it'll take whatever you have selected and it'll want to make a rule specifically for that. But we don't want to do that. We want to do an ID. Okay? So we're just going to type out a name. So I'm just going to call it header. And this is just the name of the rule. It doesn't matter. It can be anything. Okay? So just click OK. And it'll come up with this nice little box asking us, what do we want this rule to be? What do we want it to do? And what we're going to want to do is set the height of this div tag to be a certain thing. And that certain height we want to be the same height of this image. So I'm just going to click OK for now because I want to find out how big this image is. Okay, it's 104 pixels tall. So I'm going to go over here to our header rule, double click it, and go back over here to box, and in height I'm going to type 104 pixels and click OK. Okay. Now that won't do anything until we tell the div tag what rule we want it to use. So I'm going to click on this one right here, grid 12, and after the class I'm going to do space ID and click enter, and then it automatically suggests, oh, do you want to use header? Yes, I do. And I'll just save it and open it in Firefox, and it's going to ask me if I want to save my CSS file, and I do. So I'm going to click OK. And there we go. So there's before, there's after, and we fixed that problem. So I'm going to pause it for now, and when we come back we're going to work on the content. Alright? So I'll see you in a few.